I'm just going to say it. Ricky Wilson was a genius. A genius! Doesn't get his due. Probably because of his untimely passing. But genuine, amazing guitar player. And if you think that riff is easy, try it. It is not. That is a that's a struggle. What a loss to the guitar world. Who do we got here? Deanna, what's up? You Martian Murray. Browns fan. Richard, Yeti Matzi, Strat CPO. We got BJ, got Jimmy, got Bill, got John. I got Michael, we got BJ, we got Ron, Trolls, Retro Puffer, Kyle G, Tony Howe. Oh yeah, guy who taught you played a Jazzmaster. My guy had the big ham hock, sideburns and the helmet hair from the 70s, and he played a big jazz guitar. I gotta think he played something like some Gibson. What's up, Noise Bloom? Did I say Tony already? Oh, what's up, Tony? And got Johnny and Eric in Zoots. Speaker! What's up, dude? Yeah, I'm in my own private Idaho. That was that whole wave, that whole late 70s wave, right? The Cars, the B-52s, the Stray Cats, the, who else was in that class? Devo, I would say, Elvis Costello, did I say him already? Right. Talking Heads, but I feel like they came slightly later. It's a little bit earlier. Blondie, Pretenders. Who do we got? We got Bill, we got Matt, we got Dave, we got Eddie. Super Lead. What's up, dude? Got Johnny Rock. Hello. Gary Davlin. What's up, dude? And I think I said Deanna already. Deanna. In Boston, it's a Deanna, I assure you. Yes, quite. We got Curtis C. We got Fuzznuts and Tenacious T. BJ says Guitar Center has a British Racing green Jazzmaster. I want so bad. The scale is sick. Yeah, that's nice. I feel like my guitar is this. A little. Yeah, check. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's looking all right. I don't know. This is a different patch. Kind of like a. Yeah, the tubes. Yeah, probably the hotels. Who else was in that early one? Missing Persons. R.E.M. was in that early class? Yeah, sure. This is not my main patch. I don't even know what this is. This was some patch I think I made up with the Super. Yeah, I call it Super Cab. This is a patch I just made with the Super Cab. It has a phaser. For some reason. And the amp is the Marshall, just dimed on the drive. Everything else is at noon. And then it's the Super Cab. And the digital reverb. If I turn the digital reverb up, because the cab actually has a tiny bit of air, you can turn the reverb, the delay on. So I made this is a patch I made apparently. And that's the delay, and I turn the delay off. This is the reverb, which is very similar. And that it's a short time and a pretty high effect level. Anyway, it was just something I was trying out. just to see, I'm just trying it out. I'm just seeing if I like it, okay? Thought you weren't allowed to play Jazzmaster. I got a variance. Yeah, I got a temporary visa. They're gonna revoke it. Now my regular patch is not that patch. Oh, where is my reggie? Is right. Here it is. That's the normie. Which probably sounds way scoop. There's a Lou Rebel and Rumble. I don't know that, but there's Billy Idol count. Right? Billy Idol and the Jazzmaster? No. No. Sure, right? Sure. The other setting sounds better for that X. I think so. Well, because it's way more mid-pushed. You know, this one, to me, at least to my ears, sounds way more scooped. Whereas, well, not bad. But, now where was that other one? We had this one. Now, someone the other day said, as I was playing this cool Pink Floyd song, that's Breathe, which is true, but the other acceptable answer would have been Down by the River. But they are literally the identical chords. It almost played in the identical way. It's where they go from these two chords. Right, because the Neil Young goes, I think, to C major, to B minor. Anyway, that's the plane. I don't know what that is. Here is. I don't think that's the right setting now. Oh, no, that is. So that's how we came in. We came in hot. I feel like I had a little bit more time on it. I think that sounds pretty good. No? Just me? You know, like all Jazzmaster players. Yeah, it kind of, you're right. Pink Floyd sounds like Pink Floyd, but it could go Neil Young too. They both have a song with a nearly identical guitar part. You know? It is a bit private. I think that's right. There, I turned the tone back a bit. Got a little bit better. Versus. Yeah, sometimes just backing off on the tone works wonders. Takes the edge off. Right? It pulls that ice pick out of your forehead. It was like an ice pick to the forehead. That is delicious. Yeah, right. I'm not good at doing it. I can't get it fast enough. I know what you're saying. If you turn it fast enough, you can get a wow out of it. You know what? Let me turn my. Can I reach you without breaking something here? Hold on. It's always tricky. Down on the ground, cocaine. Away. All right. So if I believe it is hot mapped, you're hot mapped. So if I go to THU and I bring in overdrives, distortion, fuzz, blah, 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 blah. Where is it? Phasers, flangers. I think, yeah. I can bring in the cry, maybe. Yeah. Is that gonna work? Sure. Look at me. That's called Hendrixing. All right, now where did my screen go? Right here. There you are. Yeah, well, wah-wahs, they can sound good. Oh, yeah. You can ham it all day. Sure. Still prefer the Strat tone? Sure. But, the single coil tones, this is a little bit different than the Strat. The Strat, quite frankly, can be a little thinner. Depends on the pickups, and how they're wound. Certainly, I've played some DiMarzio stacks that I think are warmer, in general for the single coils. But, yeah, for the most part, there's not a huge difference in tone. If I went through and I had like a very bright, kind of like I want to say that these aren't too far off from the, those Fat 50s, the custom shop Fat 50s. Sound kind of the same, right? Sort of bright, chimey. You almost have to back off on the tone a little bit because they're almost a little too bright at full tone. Right. Yeah, you just got Hendrixed. Looking up a new PC, oh yeah? I helped a buddy pick out a little mini. He had this old Dell that was like from so long ago. I was like, dude, you know, by the time you sink even a dime into that thing, you can go on to Amazon for about $130, $125. I think it's like $138 and a $15 coupon, $123. You know, there's like a little N150 nano computer with 256 gigs of storage and, you know, 8 gigs of RAM. And you just wanted to play YouTube videos and, you know, maybe some, you know, like Fubo or Apple TV app. I said, absolutely. You can do 4K video all day. So he got that and got it going. I said, whatever you do, don't log into the internet when you first boot it, or they will make you make an account, an online account. If you skip it and go, I don't have internet, then they'll let you get past it. And then they might annoy you later on, but they don't force it, at least now. Some jazz. It's probably a little too distorted. Ah. Oh, I see. The delay is at the front. I was like, man, that delay is strong. Is it on max? But it's in the front of the chain. That'll do it. That sounds a little low, though, right? No, just me? Not really pushing that output. It's a little better. Yeah. Remember there was a whole thing, every friggin' acoustic player, you know, now played the Cajon. It's having an episode. Anyway, where were we? We're on, oh, what do we have? What is plain to see? Ah, how dare you? It went from Hall and Oates to Hall v. Oates. They had a falling out. Damn. I made your way, huh? good bass in that. You know, Baba Booey, fa fo high. These are stock pickups, whatever these are. I did the video on it the other day. I'm pretty sure I say in the video, they're like, you know, Jazzmaster friggin' deluxe, whatever the hell they're calling them, you know, pickups. I probably have a link in the description with the actual specs. But, yeah, you know, they sound, you know, it was their version of, I think, of the P90, right? They looked what Gibson had done, and, you know, oh no, they're definitely not P90s. It's a P90, like, it's their take on the P90, right? It's like they have to make a pickup, and they're looking at what other people are doing. What do you got going on? And they figure it out. They figure out their own interpretation of it. Yeah, this has a phaser on it. So that's stone phaser. Adds a lot to that. Right. And then this is the same thing, but it's like a take on the Strymon. And then it's got a few things going on. Got a micro pitch. Yeah. That micro pitch. That sounds nice. That's probably why it's in there. All right, let's go back to our normal. Let's get normie. And there it is. That's just the normal noises you hear in here. All right, you know what? I have to very quickly just check on my tuning. You can tell it's single coil. There you go. Just a wee bit. La, la, Alright. Oh. Gotta turn it off if you want to hear. Can't leave it on. Yeah, these are just whatever comes in the Player 2. These are Player 2 Fender Jazzmaster pickups. These are Stockolas. All right, so we had some guitar news this week. Let's take a look on the old internet. Yeah. The first one we have up here is the Les Paul Standard 50s and 60s Double Trouble. The Double Trouble, huh? And the Double Troubles come with the double creams, which, if I remember correctly, maybe I'm wrong on this, but is a registered trademark of the DiMarzio company. So either those are DiMarzio's, which I don't think they are. Maybe Double Trouble stands for cease and desist. No, those are Burstbuckers. Just saying. Last I checked, they still had a valid trademark for cream-colored double bobbin pickups. So, be interesting to see if DiMarzio wants to protect their... Because if they don't, it can be deemed abandoned. It kind of puts a little pressure on DiMarzio to protect their trademark. I was a little surprised. I was like, huh. Oh. I thought DiMarzio is flush with cash, but, it's not like they're broke either. And I believe, because I looked this up, when somebody sued to make it invalid and lost a couple of years ago, wind up withdrawing their claim with prejudice, which means it was thrown out, basically. After the judge had already thrown it out once, then they went through some discovery and basically withdrew, because the lawyer basically said there was nothing there. I remember at that time when I looked up the double cream bobbin, I believe at that point they had incontestability. Which means that even if a court later finds that, like, they should have never got the mark in the first place, it's too late to contest, because there was a very long period between when they got the mark and they were finally able to get to incontestability, which basically says, look, I've had this mark long enough. I don't want to have to fight off people forever, if at all, and so that you can apply and get incontestability. I believe they have that. And there's a great case with a company that had a parking lot by an airport called Park and Fly. And, of course, somebody wanted to register like Joey Jojo's Park and Fly. But they got knocked back because this company owned Park and Fly. And they said, hey, Park and Fly is descriptive. It kind of says what it does. It shouldn't have been allowed in the first place. And the court said, yeah, but you had years to contest that, and you never did. And they've been in it so long, they applied for and got incontestability. And if incontestability has to mean something, we can't just throw it out the second it becomes inconvenient. And that was the end of that. So I'm just saying. They're out there. They also put out a new series of minis. These new mini series out, which I thought looked quite sporting. Got a little mini humbucker here and a P90. And tobacco burst. I thought it looked nice. Good looking guitar. And I think they do a couple of styles, right? That was one. And there's one with two minis. Pretty good. Very nice. And what else? Well, did we show this one? Yeah, they just have a different color, but it's. I think we did see this one. They just have a couple of different colors here. And was there anything else? Gibson's been. I get that. No, we did these last week or the week before. The new, yeah. No, these are the 4 new guitars. I tell you, Gibson puts out guitars. I feel like it feels like every friggin' week. So 4 new ones this week. Those 2 and these 2. What else? Oh, I won't make you sit through the lookup, but let me find it for you. Here. And here. Yeah. Just in time for my new Jazzmaster. An RJ Ronkilio, who just got a vintage Jazzmaster. He's gonna want these. These are the new Jazzmaster silencers. It's the noiseless Jazzmaster. Tired of that? Pick up the silencers. Blasphemy. Get it. I'd get the hot. I'd put the hot in the bridge. Put the regular in the neck. There you go. Nice. You rip those right out of that 61. RG just got a 61 Jazzmaster. Rip those pickups right out. Throw these in. Route it out. Throw in a Floyd Rose. Throw in a couple of EMGs or maybe, a couple silencers. Come on, live it up. What else? Hold on. There's actually more. Hold on. Let's see if we can. Yeah, hold on. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, there is the new Jackson American series. These are Soloist, I think, SL2s. Right? I mean, they got the inlays upside down, but other than that, they look pretty good. And you notice they don't say USA on the headstock. They say Corona, California on the back. Huh. Interesting. It's the American series. It says Corona, California in the back, but nowhere on it does it say Made in USA. It feels like we're back in the 80s again. It was made in the US, right? Sure. What do you need to hear to put this sale through? Good looking guitar though. And they had a couple of colors, right? There was... Okay, so 2 different models. Okay, hardtail. So Floyd Rose and a hardtail. Satin, no. That's gross. Satin, no. No. Because it gets hot spots. That's why. They don't stay satin. That's the downside to satin. Satin looks good when you first get it, but over time, they get hot spots, especially right around here in the pickup touching area and around the knobs, right? It starts to look like the remote control, right? Hot spots wherever you touch on a regular basis. Everything's worn shiny. Is this gloss? That's gloss. Yeah, that's lemonized gloss. I get it just for the gloss. Is it gloss? I think it is. Oh, maybe not. They don't. Blah, 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 virtuoso. Kind of looks glossy right there, doesn't it? Right? That looks a little glossy. That looks satin. Yeah, that looks gloss. I'd much rather have that just because I think their finish will look better longer. Body finish gloss. Right there. Right there. All right. Okay. Pretty cool. All right. There was one other guitar, I think. Yeah, here they are. Yeah, I like it when they do this. You know, you go to a website and it's right there, right up front. Harley Benton released a couple of new guitars, the new Jazzmasters. And, you know, they just look like, you know, let's face it, they look like Strats, right? But the difference is these have like a little built-in amp. Has a headphone jack. I don't know if the headphone jack is in the front or on the side, but it has a little headphone jack and you can plug your headphones in. I don't know if it's on the back or you charge it. Maybe they're there. Maybe there's a line in and a line out, headphone out and a line in, so you can jam along. But that's just quite a slab of ebony. It's clearly a battery compartment. All right, let's see what they say. All right, it's got some effects in it. Audio recording output, headphone output. They're two different outputs. I don't think there's an input. Right? In other words, you can't plug some device into it. Your MP3 player. Where can I plug in my MP3 player? My old Diamond. Yeah. Where can I plug my Zune in? Yeah, it's an output. So it's a stereo mini jack output, and just that one is amplified and one isn't. One is a line output and one is an amplified output to drive speakers. That's the difference. That's pretty cool. I had heard about this. I probably got an email. I think that might be it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else new. I don't think so. I don't have a picture of it here, but Vola is going to, I think, send me their latest guitar, which is that JZ FRO, the JZ Fro. So that should be showing up here in a few weeks. I bought one of these. So which one did you get? Did you get the Jackson or did you get the Harley Benton? Exactly. It records straight to your 8-track. All the old punk bands. The Jackson in yellow? Nice. I thought that was the best of the lot, to be honest. Tune every string to F sharp and play some Sonic Youth. Oh, Sonic Youth. I feel like Sonic Youth was just a giant troll. That whole band was just like, how bad can we make it and people will still buy it? How antithetical to actual music can we get and still be called a band? It's more of a thought experiment. Is it Ferrari red? You know, that's a good question. What red? What red is that? I can tell you in a sec. We'll just go to the old Jazzmaster. Jazz. I'm gonna master that jazz. It's the Jazzmaster. Coral red. Coral. It's coral red. C-O-R-A-L. As in sea coral. Sea coral run. Run coral run. Yeah. Coral. A race to the bottom is still called a race, right? I just got an email from Seawater and they said prices are going up. Oh yeah, God, my freaking 401k took a beating this week. Yeah, it sucks to lose like 20 G's in a week. I had heard from somebody at a store, and they didn't want to say who the vendor was, but I'm just going to guess it was Fender. But basically said that they got a notice that they were going to have a big price increase starting April 1. And just, tell people if they want to get it for the old price, get it now, because prices are going up. So, I have no reason to doubt them, but we'll see what happens. Screenshot your prices now, because they may be going up after April 1st. And I remember when they went up, there was a big time between, say, 1988 and 1990 where the yen and the dollar were really at odds with each other. And so, based on the exchange rate, the yen had gotten stronger against the dollar. So it took more dollars to get the same amount of yen. And Ibanez is shot up one year. They just did. And when my boss got the new price list for guitars he was going to buy in the future, he went out on the floor and changed the price of every guitar to reflect the new price list. And I was like, yeah, but you didn't pay that for that. He goes, yeah, but it's the replacement cost. I was like, okay. That's what they go for now. I'm like, all right, you know, April Fool's joke. I hope it is, but I suspect it's not. You know. That's why I got your Telecaster with a 2Gs. I was not satisfied, but what are you going to do, right? So, did you send it back? Did you buy a Telly and you didn't like it? You sent it back? Not following you. It happens. On April Fool's Day, I don't know. Well, you know, every month has a first of the month, and people tend to do things on the first of the month. So, we'll see. We will see. The other thing that's gone crazy, and I think we talked about it a little bit last week, is that computers. I was looking to spec out a computer, and really can't do it right now. They're basically, you know, it's sort of on hold if you want to buy a decent video card. There's really nothing out there, and everybody's gouging. You know, every video card has become the, you know, the PS5 at launch, right? Bought up by bots and sold at, like, you know, 2 to 3 times the friggin' market value. So it's, you know, it's just this supply chain. I don't know what's up, but you know, people are saying they're not building as many because it's more profitable to build AI wafers, the AI chips off of the wafers than the GPUs. But man, you would have thought AMD with this last round would have saw a weakness. Same with Intel. It's like Intel, you saw this massive weakness, and you know, you can't get product out there. Intel would have sold probably 100,000 units, but they just didn't have them at launch. They sold out to bots, and you know, Apple like beat the. It actually sucked for Apple because I got a lot of returns, but a lot of people, just like I guess at the time that would have been like what, the PS3. A lot of people sit in line to get a PS3 so that they could resell it on eBay, right? It was this whole speculation. Well, people did that for the iPhone, but iPhone met demand. You know, people couldn't sell them for markups, right? It's like Intel had such an opportunity to come out and do something. They didn't do anything. It's like, come on, dudes. Exactly, and Nvidia's not doing. I mean, it's a friggin' joke. It's crazy. Your PRSSE Skybridge corroded in just 2 years. Oh, that's quick. Yeah, that's not cool. That feels a bit quick. What do I use for NAS? I don't really. I just have a big enterprise level drive. I don't even really have it backed up. It's like, you know, but it's one of those helium filled drives that is supposed to be able to go like, you know, 14 million hours or something. It's like some stupid number. They're really, you know, high end. Wasn't cheap, but they have an enterprise level record. They figured out filling them with helium made them last a lot longer, because if you just tried to vacuum it out, eventually the vacuum would leak and air would get in there, and the air would cause turbulence inside the drive. So instead, they pumped it full of helium, which is a very light gas. It kept the thicker outside nitrogen oxygen atmosphere from getting in, and allowed the platters to spin a lot more freely. because helium is just a much lighter, gas to have to spin around in. And so that's really worked out. But that's all I really use is a Seagate. I think it's a Seagate enterprise level drive. I think it's a 14 terabyte. And then I have a lot of offloaded stuff that if it really did shit the bed, I do have some backup. I've needed a computer for 2 years, but I can't pay these prices. A little holdover, like I said, my friend bought one of those little micros, and I bought a mini recently I thought was pretty damn good. Little mini. So I think it was $259. I think they're $249 right now. It's got a little Intel i3. Works great. Came with, I think, 24 gigs of RAM. The only problem is it's DDR5, and it's soldered right to the motherboard. But it's super fast. But you can't upgrade it. But 24 gigs isn't bad. That's workable. You can work with that. And like I said, I think it was $259, but I think they're $249 right now for the 1220p Intel. The one my friend just got was an N150, which is a much, much more lightweight chip. I think the N150 is a 4-core, 4-thread, and mine is a 10-core, 12-thread. So, huge difference. Seagate Exos, I think that's what it is. I think you're right. I think it's Exos, EXOS. That sounds right. Exactly, Overlord. Less friction, less turbulence, right? Because the gas literally sloshes around in there. Can those chips run THU? No problem at all. And here's why. And never forget this. You're not going to really be able to play THU on your motherboard hardware. Highly unlikely. That Realtek stuff is basically silicon on chip. And, they use basically the Windows drivers. Now, the Windows drivers have gotten better, but they're not ASIO. You'd be a lot better to just buy one of these for about $99. See that right there? That little Soloist by Focusrite. That's a genuine, real audio card that runs off a USB. Yet that has ASIO drivers. You could just plug your headphones right into that or speakers right into that. And the latency would be like almost nothing. So I think don't worry about the speed of the processor. I had like for years down here, I ran an i7 from 2012 and it was running it just fine. And that N150 is something like an i5 from around 2017. So, easily, I think it's going to be able to run it. Because you just, like I said, mainly offloading it to that. That's really handling the heavy lifting. I'm on Windows 11, yeah. It's okay. It doesn't really get in my way, but you have to make some changes to it. You have to hack the registry a little bit to be able to get it to work without being so friggin' annoying. They build a lot of telemetry into it. It's been a steady decline since Windows, like 7. where they're just trying to get their meat hooks into like whatever you're working on. Um, it's annoying. It's annoying as hell. Right? They want to be. It's just going to be a matter of time before they start serving up ads like right in the operating system. I just feel like that's where it's headed. With some of their, partners. It's like, you mean advertisers? They're partners. Just buy the new Mac Mini. I tried the Mac OS. I can't get on with it. I can't stand it. Every time I try to use it, I'm like, it's like going back to the goddamn Amiga. It's like, no, this feels like a huge step backwards. I'm sure it's very fast because it's very optimized. When you make both the hardware and the software, there's a lot of room for optimization there. But where I lose all that optimization? Trying to right-click and going, where's the goddamn right-click on this? Where's my contextual menu? How come when I click on a menu and I release the button, my menu doesn't stay on? And I can just roll over them and see all my menus. Why do I have to hold the button down and hold? It's like, this is the stupidest system I've ever seen. It's like a goddamn Amiga. No. I'm right back to Windows again. It's like, can't stand you. I'm not missing out on shit. I built a Hackintosh years ago, and I snored right through it. And I was like, meh, whatevs, brah. Did nothing for me. Like I said, I am sure it is very efficient because they have, right? They don't have the distributed system like Windows has to deal with, right? They have a unified hardware and software, which makes for, complete optimization, without a doubt. However fast that is, it will be that much slower because I can't figure out where the hell anything is. Whereas on Windows, I pretty much know what I'm doing. I've been using Windows since, Windows 3.11. And I had Windows 95 months before it came out. I had Chicago. I had the beta. So I'm kind of entrenched. I am both Windows and Windows 95 and Windows 2000 server certified. I do. Right? It's like no matter how efficient it is, if I'm struggling to find where things are, all those efficiencies are right out the friggin' window. And I don't sit there waiting for my stuff. I rip right through. When I go to render my video, it rips right friggin' through it. Now, granted, I have an expensive video card. My video card costs more than a friggin' Mac Mini, but it rips right through it. And I've had it for a few years now. The system in the attic I built in 2019. And I just remember when I built it at the time, the whole system cost me about $1,400. And I had priced the same thing out on the Mac, and it was like $5,800. I was like, wow. That's pricey. That is pricey. Sticking with TRS DOS? Yeah. I'm a BOS man. I'm a OS Warp. OS2 Warp. What video card do you have? I have a 3080, which I got years later. So it started out as when I first built the system, I built a Ryzen 2700X with 32 gigs of RAM, a 1660 Super, right? RTX? No, I think it's still GTX, right? The 16 series. I don't think they have the RTX moniker. GTX 1660 Super, and a bunch of NVMe drives that were like Gen 3. They were doing like, I don't know, like 3.5 gigs per second, for storage. Pretty fast. And that went on for a couple, and twin 1080p monitors. So with the monitors, the computer, brand new keyboard, brand new mouse, everything, everything all together, the video card, the RAM, everything, put it all together, it's about $1,450, if I remember correctly, $1,450 with the monitors and everything. And then after a while, I switched out the motherboard. No, I switched out the video card to a RTX 2060, which was a lot faster than that 1660. And so that definitely gave me a boost in Adobe Premiere. And then at one point I went to a different motherboard, like an X570 based Mobo. Opted to a 5000 series, I think a 5900X for the chip, and I upped the RAM. I doubled it from 32 to 64. Did that like a couple of years ago. And then more recently, I got, as soon as the prices fell for the video cards, I went out and got the 3080, gave my son the 2060, and I bought two 4K monitors and switched to 4K. So right now it is a 5900X with 64 gigs of RAM. And the drives, because when you go from the new motherboard, from the old 400 series of 570 to the new series 600 or whatever it was, you got Gen 4. So just like overnight, my storage went from 3.5 gigs per second to 7.2 gigs per second. Right, because they already had the speed, it just couldn't unlock it without the Gen 4. So it unlocked that whole Gen 4 shit and got that going. And so like doubled that speed, doubled the RAM, probably did more than double my video speed by going from a 2060 to a 3080. And I've been using that ever since, and I haven't really felt the need. I go to hit render and it's done in like minutes. A 30-minute video is done in just a few minutes. Rips right through it. Certified on Windows for Work groups? Nice. Yeah, Windows 3.11. You ran on a 3080, 5900X rig, yeah, for a couple of years, working great. Yeah. No, that's what I'm running for my video editing machine, and I haven't really felt the need to move it. So you can't get the 4000 series was always a friggin' joke. They never really had stock out there, right? It was always way above. They took, if you looked at it, they always had these like certain chips, right? Like the 101, the 201, the 301, right? And what you found out was that when they went to the 4000 series, instead of like the 201 being like the entry, like the 101, which was like in the old bargain bin chip, and you were like, oh, and everything got like downgraded, and now the 301, which used to be sort of the mid, right? And so they basically made everything like worse, and they just got more money for like lower power chips, like insane. And yeah, it's been and then when the 5000 series came out, they were touting all these crazy numbers. Turns out, yeah, that's if we turn on like AI frame generation. Then it's like, 200% faster. Well, what if you turn that off? How much faster? It's like 8% faster. It's like, well, isn't that like the real number? With your stupid AI generated frames? So, anyway. Yeah, the computer industry right now is in a friggin' bind. That is delicious, though. That is really good. So one other thing I wanted to mention was I got an email this week from YouTube telling me that starting May 12th, I think they said, they're going to turn on mid-rolls for every video. And, they're like, people get... The bottom line is that they want to run more ads. And my wishes be damned. Because, personally, I can't stand mid-roll ads. And the only reason why I even run ads is because I found out when I didn't run ads, they ran ads anyway. It's about whether or not I get a piece of the money. So when I say monetization, it's whether or not they share it, but not whether or not they run ads or not. They're like, oh, we're running the ad. It's just whether or not you're going to get a piece of that ad running. It's like, well, if you're running the ad anyway, but I could control it. And they're like, how do you want the ads to run? And I would say you can run the ad before the video, because that's almost like you have to turn something on or else you're not monetizing. And you can run it after the video because people are just going to click that shit away anyway. But don't run it during the video because that is annoying as shit and it's jarring. And they're like, oh, we have this new AI, can figure out a good place to have a break and run an ad. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. It's annoying, but they don't like that I run long-form content. They don't want to dole out 30 minutes of video or 2 hours of the live show without running a shit ton of ads in the middle. So they basically said, we're turning it on, but you can opt out if you opt out before May 12th. And so I ran to it. I ran right to it, and they already had me opted out. And I would have to opt back in. I said, I'm going to keep checking it just to make sure they don't opt me in before the 12th. But as I was looking at it, they were like, you are not set for mid-roll ads. Do you want to turn mid-roll ads on? And I said, no, I do not. So if you see a mid-roll, that shit ain't me. I don't like them. I think they distract from my content. You could run one before and you can run one after. Don't run it during the show. Because we're not set up like a show that has naturally built-in breaks. We just don't have it. And you know what? I'm kind of down on advertising. As ridiculous as that sounds, considering I make my money from YouTube from advertising. But I would just say that, I was watching a Celtics game the other night. If I don't record that game, it's unwatchable. The amount of live reads, the amount of shit, they can't throw a free throw without them going, now here's a message from FanDuel. Now here's a message from Amica. It's like, fuck off with that shit. I'm trying to watch a basketball game. And it's like they are running, and they're doing live reads, like almost nonstop. They're displaying, it's all turning into NASCAR, and it is annoying as shit. Yeah, exactly. They're going to opt me in at 11:59:59. Exactly. Damn you, YouTube. They're always one step ahead. But man, the amount of ads in a Celtics game are just, it is insane. So I can't even watch them live. I am like constantly forwarding through a basketball game. I have to record it and then watch it later, and then fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Luckily, we have a 30-second skip, and that seems to work out, so I can just skip ahead 30 seconds. Boom. As soon as I hear it. And now here's a message from friggin' Tampax. It's like, enough it. And ironically, that's how I earn my money from YouTube. But still, even I have my limits. Like, Jesus, it's too many ads. Enough of that. I know, and the gambling ads, right? The freaking, ever since they legalized gambling, man, it's been such a boon for advertising dollars. It's like everything's sponsored by, some fantasy, betting league like FanDuel or, whatever, I think MGM has one. I think some of the big casinos are trying to get a little bit more of the action going on. It is, it's crazy. Exactly. Ads on TV have gotten ridiculous. No Adam Sandler movie should last 3 hours. Exactly. And believe it or not, they might have even cut a little bit of the movie out to make for more ads. It is insane. So I know how many skips it takes to get between, like, right? So it's 30 seconds. It's 30 seconds for every click. You watch a Harry Potter on, like, friggin', TNT or something like that, right? One of those channels, right? When it comes up to a break, you have to click 10 times. That's a 5-minute break in ads. They used to never have breaks like that. Never have. And every break is 5 minutes. And they are frequent. And when I watch some of the sports shows, and they go to a commercial break, 14 clicks. 7 minutes. 7 minutes of commercials before you get back. I'm like, you can't even be serious. You know? Sports betting ads are even worse for UFC. Well, anything sports related seems to get a ton of the sports betting ads, right? They know their market. It's dudes watching sports. So you're going to see any UFC, any of, the major sports, basketball, baseball, hockey, football, they're all going to have like major sports bet, partners. They're not advertisers, they're partners, damn it. But it's like now there's not a graphic that gets put up that doesn't have some sort of sponsor, right? Let's look up at the friggin' Mazingill friggin' leaderboard. Like, what? Welcome to the Verizon halftime show. It's like everything is sold, Like they micro sell like every little thing. Let's go over to the, to this studio, this look, and they do it all day long. They sell segments too. Like the crazy amount of segments that they sell. It's like enough. Like And it's gotten so out of control. It's like bordering on like ridiculousness. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it really is out of control. Which is why the only way around it is to record it and fast forward. Now, you want to make AI do something freaking good? Why don't you have an AI TV that advertises itself as an ad-free TV? So I could start it late, and then when the ads come on, you just skip over them. TiVo, of all companies, had that. And the ad companies ran them right into court. They were losing their shit because TiVo had automatic ad skip. And, I mean, and again, talk about like how much you're being data mined. You remember the titty incident at the Super Bowl. People forget that one of the big things that came out of Tittygate was TiVo coming out and calling it their most rewound moment ever on TiVo. And people were like, how would you know that? And they were like, do you know when I rewind? Do you know when I'm watching? Right? They sort of let the cat out of the bag by saying like it was the most rewound TiVo moment ever, and found themselves in some hot water. People, how would you know that? And they were like, I still have the double neck, I do. But it'd be great, like AI, just figure out when an ad's running and just play, like just mute it and put something over the top until my content comes back again. But they'll get sued, just like they sued back in when TiVo did it. TiVo had automatic ad skip, and the advertisers lost their goddamn minds. My wife and I always TVR TV, and then we skip ads. I have to do the same thing. I cannot watch live TV anymore. And even worse would be like an award show. So like the Grammys will start, what is it, start about 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. in the East? I'll start at around 10, and by the time they're to the final one, I'm just about caught up. I fast forward over so much. I might watch a little bit of an act, fast forward, shitty banter, fast forward. I skip over so much. I swear to God, I watch like 10% of the whole friggin' show. What am I playing? I'm playing a Fender Player 2 Jazzmaster. It's the guitar of the week. You know, if you've been paying attention. Got an awesome guitar of the week this week. And we just got today the next round. It's so funny because I sent them the order, and I immediately got something back maybe a couple hours later saying, hey, one of those guitars has been sold. Your order's been canceled. I said, okay. So I did a substitute. And then I got a bunch of emails. Your order's been delayed. You know, this was all yesterday. I said, okay, whatever. I still have another guitar. I still have a guitar for next week. you know, we're not up against it. We're good. And then I look out and I said, "Oh my God, there's a FedEx truck out front today." He's like unloading boxes, and he had 4. I go, 4? But the other one was delayed. He goes, "I got 4." I'm like, sweet. You know. Now I don't think these are P90s. They don't call them P90s. They call them like Jazzmaster pickups. But I think it's based on P90. You know, this is Fender's. Sort of like we can make a pickup too. What pickup height? Action height I prefer. Not too low. You know, I don't have a number. I never measure any of that stuff. I just go, no, yeah, meh, yeah, all right, yeah. It's usually how I do it. I went to Steel Panther show this past week. Satchel was playing a red hollow flash tiger stripe show. I saw that. You know who made that for him? Mean Street Guitars. You remember them? They used to do a lot of 80 EVH copies, and then I think they got a cease and desist about the striping. But that was who made that for him. It was Mean Street Guitars did the red hollow flash for Satchel. That'll look great. Steve, how low does the retaining bar on a Floyd Rose need to be? Low enough so that the strings at the nut fit flush, but not so low that they bulge. You can put the nut on a Floyd Rose. You can put the string retainer bar too low. So it's supposed to sit on the bridge. Now what happens is if you don't have the bar, it sits too high, and then when you put the lock down, they go sharp, right? Because it puts them down. Now, if you have the retainer bar too low, it actually pops up in the middle, right? The string actually pops up in the middle of the nut. Now when you tighten it down, it pushes it down and the string goes flat. There is a sweet spot, a Goldilocks zone, if you will, where there's neither a gap on the string across the nut nor raised up at either edge. So you don't want it raised up off the nut at anywhere along the surface of the nut. And if it is just a tiny bit, and at the same time, you don't want it so low that there's literally a gap in the middle, because it's so low, it forces it up at such an angle, it finally goes up and then gets pulled back down. And there's literally a little gap. It pops up. Also bad. You want it flat, but not popped. That tune is actually in a baritone. That's it's actually C sharp, but of course it's down here. But you need a baritone. He does it on a baritone. Yeah, I don't have a baritone guitar. It's funny because I was looking at baritones, and one of the ones I saw was like an Ibanez RG, the most anti-baritone baritone ever, right? Everyone wants the baritone to be like some Dan Electro, right? You know, right? Some sort of like, you know, like hipster friggin', you know, Texas Longhorn style baritone, but the one I saw was like an Ibanez RG. Very, it's not going to be playing a lot of, not really for the surf, you know, market. I got Joe's 75 and the guitar. He's fabric topping for me. Is that the guy at is that the guy from Main Street? You have a Dan Electro baritone? I like the Dan Electro baritone. I think PRS makes one too. Of course, Fender. But those are the normal ones, right? Fender, Dan Electro, right? I feel like, you know, those are the more standard, you know, baritones. But PRS and Ibanez. Gretsch makes one too, makes sense. Is the Buckethead a baritone? I knew it was an oversized guitar, but I wasn't sure if it was a baritone or just regular. Jackson? Oh, yeah, Jackson doing baritone. Yeah, you could see that. That would make sense. Jackson, sure. Yeah, I guess so, right? Already 8:38. Right. Something like that. That's his greatest riff. So hard. Well, when you hear it in the record, it's clearly two different recordings. He's not playing because they overlap each other. He's going. That's a separate guitar recording. But live, he had to do both parts, you know. Ricky was so good, man. So good. Do 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 do. I know it. I got the tone knob halfway down, Rico. I think it kind of needs it. I use picks. I use the Dawman 3mm. I don't think you can get him anymore. I think he's out of Belarus, and they've been under, I think, embargo for a while. So it's I'm gonna think of the past now. I have about maybe a couple of dozen left, and I've been I've been really careful. I don't want to blow through them too quickly. I think I want to say Gravity Picks is probably going to be the closest retailer to what these are. These are a 3 mil. They're 3 mil. Do you have to pay extra for a THUV2 if you already have premium? What did the website say? That feels like information that's readily available, like on the front page of the website. What did the website say? Now, when you pick loose their edge, do you use sandpaper or sharpen them up? I actually do sometimes, yeah. Because they get a little wavy, right? You see that? You can see it at the edge. See that? It's a little bevel. And sometimes you have to reshape it, yeah. But then what happens is they start to get kind of small, and sometimes they lose their angle. It gets a little tricky. And that's with the tone knob halfway down. Still pretty crispy. Hello, Brazil. My Gravity can do speed bevels now. Oh, nice. Oh, $29 never mind. See? I knew. That's the type of information that's like so important. Of course they're going to have that right there. I'm just saying, if Stevie Ray was still alive, he'd probably be playing a Jazzmaster. Exactly. Get out your Rick and do some sax scales. Just like every Jazzmaster, I am now the Jazzmaster. Is jazz supposed to have pinch harmonics? Absolutely. Yeah. No, what is it? You know, that old chestnut. Don't forget to swing it. I'm the Jazzmaster. You're not supposed to go. It's like do 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 do. Don't forget the chirps, right? Brubeck was a stickler for the pinch harmonics, I'm just saying. What's the name of that song? It's called Break 5. Because I just broke it. Did Paul Desmond write that? I thought Take 5 was Dave Brubeck. No? Was it a cover? Was it a Brubeck cover? Oh, was it Desmond in his band? Do-do-do-do. Right, you got to get that feel just right. Third track, Time Out by the Dave Brubeck. Yeah, I thought it was Dave Brubeck, but maybe he's not the composer, which is very possible. Pisses me off. All right, come on, you tune them, Buna. Yeah. No, a little bit. And two. Yeah, see, those aren't. You have two notes that aren't flat and four that are, and then you're like, two notes sound sharp. But really, four notes are flat. It's all relative. It's all relativity. Good one, Edwin. Good one, Sammy. Just like every Jazzmaster. Screaming at the window, what's my mind? Diary of a Madman on a Jazzmaster sacrilege. Yeah, but which way? Is it because it? Is it because the Jazzmaster? I'm just saying, if Randy were still alive, he'd probably be playing Jazzmaster. And didn't Iommi use a lot of single coils? I felt like he was using single coil pickups for a little bit. No? Like every Jazzmaster player ever. Now, most Jazzmasters see and now for our next song. Hold on, we have a third one. Ready? Then they added a third. Then they added a third chord, and half their audience left them for being too sophisticated. You sold out, man. I liked it better when you were a simpler band. Look, Ma, I'm playing guitar. I'm in a band. Ma, I'm in a band. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, if there's something that says the MTV generation, it's the Jazzmaster. Yeah. Big hair, spandex, MTV, Jazzmaster. Nothing but Def Leppard tunes. All right, dudes. Have a good one, Speaker. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. No, you rock. Thanks for everybody for hanging out tonight. Super extra special thanks if anyone contributed. I always appreciate that. And of course, Brofist to my mod squad. Hashtag Brofist. Hashtag mod squad. And we will do it all again in a week. I have a killer guitar coming out this Monday. I was playing it today. I shot the video today. God, it's an awesome guitar. Right in my wheelhouse. It's my wheelhouse. It couldn't be any more opposite than the guitar I'm playing. So, keep that in mind. Maybe. Actually, now there might be some similarities now that I think. If you think really hard, and if you looked at it, you might say, well, they both have strings. So, have a great week. I have at least one guitar coming out this week. Maybe two. I'll have to see how my schedule goes. How my schedule goes. And, we will do it all again at the very least in a week. And I'll hope to see you there then. You guys have a wonderful week. I'll see you here next week. And check out Monday's video. And maybe I think one more video this week. Again, it just depends on the timing. But maybe two. There you go. All right, no. You rock. Have a great week. We'll do it all again in a week. Until then, have a wonderful week.